Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to 6-Man Blitz. I'm Jay Clinch. The Bulls had a forfeit a second-round pick for Lonzo Ball. That's highway robbery right there, man. We'll give him a second-round pick. I mean, if there was a third, we'll give him a third-round pick. We'll give him a G League pick. Everything they want, we'll give it to them. Hey, for no charge. For Lonzo, not the first-round pick, though. Lonzo, not that one. But we'll give them everything else they want. Triple Bs, never lost, LeVar, anything they want, man. We got that. That's highway robbery right there. Hey, see red, man. That's all I'm seeing, man.
It was literally a slap on the wrist. But what's up, everybody? I'm Micah. Hey, apparently there's a maple syrup shortage in Canada where they make most of the maple syrup in the world. So, hey, but thankfully they have a secret vault of maple syrup. Who would have guessed that?
I think what you just said right there was a tongue twister, and the people love to see it. Love to see it.
Fucked up my tongue.
love to see a nice little tongue twister to start off the day. But them Canadians crazy, man. They like the maple syrup. They got a secret vault. That's like Gatorade having the secret powder or something. Like that's some high
next level shit.
That's high tech right there. But
if we go out of syrup, we got syrup in Canada.
You got everything you guys need. But welcome back, 6-Man Blitz. Got a great show for you guys today. Our first guest in a while since the summer. Got the boy, the man, Devon Allen, Olympic hurdler, former Oregon athlete for football and track. Just a good interview. I think it was one of our best ones. Devon, he's a cool dude. He has his own company now called Upgo. We get into that. We get about what's happening.
Might be a collab.
Yeah, it might be a collab in the future. We talked about Rio 16. We talked about Paris 2024. Everything you need is right here. Talk about, when you used to play football, can we see you return? Everything you need. And then after the interview, stay for after the interview, talk about Lincoln Riley to LSU, Lincoln Riley to USC, Brian Kelly to LSU. Can't confuse those two. Then we get into our picks and college football playoff debate. Michigan finally beat Ohio State. Jim Harbaugh and the Khakis finally did it. So love to see it, man. But remember to subscribe to 6-Man Blitz on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Wherever you listen to podcasts, the boys are on there, man. Spotify rap ended. Just happened. We talked to Devon about that a little bit. If you see the boys on there, man, try to get the boys on there next year. Try to get the boys on there next year. But just remember to hit that plus button next to the episode. Download the episodes. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Help us out go a long way. Follow us on social media at 6-Man Blitz, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Boys are on there, like I said before. But hey, you got anything else before we head into it?
Let's get into it.
Hey, let's get into it.
But you will see me relocate rooms. Don't dismiss that. Don't pay it no attention, Just trying to get the fuck out of there.
That is really funny when he relocates room. That's one of the funniest moments we've had here. So that's funny. Hey, before we get into it though, hey, shout out Staub and Chisholm, man. Let's get into it.
Touchdown Bears! No way!
Hangs, fires, yes! The Bulls lead 87-86.
Hello? You play to win the game.
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
All right, now let's welcome on the boy, the man of the hour, Devon Allen, Olympic hurdler. How you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. Just kind of finishing my day up for the night. Trained, did all my physio. I coach at the Naval Academy too, so I did some coaching earlier today, and then finished the night off with a business meeting for my supplement company. So staying busy.
Yeah, definitely busy. We're chilling. We just got out of practice, and Mike has been, on the grind at Planet Fitness. So, we've been doing everything, man. We've been doing it all.
Good, man. That's good.
All right, so let's start off with your high school days. How was it getting recruited for both football and track, and then what ultimately led you to pick Oregon?
I feel like I was a top recruit in both sports, so it felt pretty easy for the most part. And I think, obviously I was interested in running track and playing football in college. So that was kind of the deal breaker right there is, there's a few schools that might've shown some interest, for one or the other. And they were like, oh, well, you can't play football if you run track here, or you can't run track if you play football here. So that was an automatic no-go. But for the most part, I would say like a majority of the schools were interested in having me do both. At least that's what they told me, right? You never know when you get there.
You know what college coaches be, man.
Yeah. So, but luckily, University of Oregon was kind of, known for that before, because just the year before they had LaMichael James and DeAnthony Thomas running track as well. And, those guys are scoring, in the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was like, it's definitely a good fit. So that's kind of what led me to that decision. Ultimately, I wanted to play football and run track. And then obviously it's Oregon. Oregon's Oregon.
Exactly. Good in football and track town. So, I mean, you can't go wrong there.
Yeah, exactly. You guys see the new cleats that they're going to wear in the Pac-12 championship game?
Man, the foam process? I was like, what is that?
I was like, yo, I got to come out of retirement for this.
Those
I got a year of eligibility.
Man, Phil Knight be cooking up something, man. I don't know what he be doing, man. But
now, are you one of the – oh, sorry, my fault. No, are you one of those guys, because, college coaches, coaches, high school coaches, they're like, you guys better be doing winter sports, doing something. Are you one of those guys that believes track correlates to football? Does that help with the sport of football?
I mean, if you don't believe that, you're smoking, something. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's legal in your state or wherever you're from, but for the most part, right? Like the biggest differentiator in football, I feel like, is speed, really, right? Because, even the linemen, right? So what makes a great defensive lineman, somebody that's fast? Like
Myles Garrett. Ooh.
Exactly, right? Or a linebacker, even, so those guys that are big, offensive linemen that are pulling tackles, pulling guards, those guys they have their jobs because they're fast as well. So, I feel like that's the most translatable, attribute to have in football overall. So I think, if you're not at least trying to run track just to learn how to get faster and learn proper mechanics on how to sprint, then you should be, for sure.
Yeah, because I know some of those coaches are like, just stick out one sport, focus on that. I'm like, man, that's BS.
You can if you're focusing, on some speed development elsewhere. I know there's a lot of good coaches, but some of the best speed development coaches in the world are track coaches, right? That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Now, you played with the Heisman Trophy winner and Marcus Mariota. Now, how was that? Do you have a Marcus Mariota story for us?
Yeah, and here's the thing, right? It's kind of cliche because everybody kind of knows it now, just with the media and, social media and stuff like that. But he's such a just genuine guy. He's so nice in general. I remember when I first got there, I was a freshman redshirt, my first year. And he, introduced himself, said what's up, and then asked me that summer if I needed a ride to practice. And I'm like, I don't have a car. And dude, Marcus was literally in my, I lived in this apartment called Courtside, and if any of your listeners went to Oregon, you'd know about Courtside. So I lived in this apartment, and Marcus would come down and pick us up, pick up the freshman receivers to go throw, on Saturday and Sunday, and I was like, dang, that's pretty cool. A lot of people would just show up when you can. And then he took us out to dinner, a few times, as freshmen, I think all the freshman receivers and quarterbacks, he kind of, wanted to get to know us, which is really cool. But yeah, I try to keep in touch. It's hard now, we're all a little bit older, and I understand he's busy and stuff like that. So, I try to hit him up, at least on his birthday to say happy birthday. And then we chat every once in a while. I was actually in Las Vegas for a track clinic, and the Raiders were playing the Bears that weekend. And so I just text Marcus like, yo, do you have tickets? And he was like, yeah, bro, I got you. And literally I'm sitting on the first row behind the goalpost, every video you see of somebody celebrating and jumping in the stands.
Yeah.
That was me right there. I'm best seats in the house. So, that was love for sure. And I appreciate that. And, he's such a good guy, and he does a lot of charitable work with his foundation, and hopefully I can get out to a golf tournament one of these times, because he does them in the summer. And that's kind of during my track season, which is hard to squeeze that in.
That's definitely tough. But, you were a beast on the football field. Could we ever see you return to the football field maybe?
I keep, a lot of people ask me this question, and, it's a good question because I don't even really know. One day I'm sitting there watching football. I'm like, damn, I need to play.
Yeah.
You know? And then another day, you know, like my season ended up well this last season, and I broke the 13-second barrier, which if you don't really know, and the hurdles especially is like, you know, I wouldn't say it's a huge deal, but it's a big deal for me. You know, there's only been like 22 other athletes that have ever done that. So, you know, and at that point I was like, oh man, I bet I can break the world record. I could be world champ and Olympic champ and all that stuff. So that, you know, that keeps pushing my track career to 2024 and then 2028,
Right.
which would make me a pretty old guy trying to be a rookie in the NFL if I started playing after my career. So, I do want to play. I want to try like sooner than later. It's just the logistics and the business of it is a lot harder than you would think. Because for the most part, for me to realistically give it a shot, I would have to have some kind of guaranteed contract. You know, I'm technically an unsigned free agent, unrestricted. So I would need to have, you know, it doesn't have to be crazy money, but it needs to be something guaranteed. So like, you know, if something does happen playing football, I'm not going to be missing out on my track income. You know, I'm not going to be just broke in general. I just sit on my butt.
Yeah, because if you want to focus on something, it's got to be guaranteed, because you get cut like, you know, a week in and you're like, all right, just train off for all this time for nothing.
Well, and that's the thing too. You know, there has to be in business and in sports and doing something that you're good at, there has to be some incentive, right? You know, give me a guaranteed contract so I have incentive to just, you know, focus on track and just focus on spend 100% of my time doing this, focusing on my craft, being the best football player I can be, which I think, you know, if I did spend some time doing it, I could be a great football player.
Yeah.
You know, it just, this is how it works. But, you know, because I'm spending a lot of time running track and I've been getting better the last few years. And yeah, so I don't know, you know, to be honest, Jake, I couldn't tell you.
It's just one of those things. If it happens, it happens. You know?
Yeah.
Now, definitely in college football, this year, we see college athletes getting paid money. Now, some of these endorsement deals, Canes, these athletes are getting money from a lot of areas. Which brand or which company would you have wanted to work with if you were in college today?
Yo. Oh, man.
Hey,
That's tough. So that's a good option. So here's my opinion. With those NIL deals, they should be really, unless you're like the superstar, right? You're like the Heisman candidate to win, right? Which, you know, realistically, unless I, you know, go off, you go some like a receiver doesn't really have a huge chance. But, you know, a receiver did win last year. So
yeah, they did win last year.
Exactly. So I would keep it local. So that would be like, you know, your mom and pop restaurants or, you know, like if you like a specific food, there's a lot of Hawaiian food that I missed, you know, around Eugene and University of Oregon. Like Hawaiian Time was a place that we used to go to a lot. And there used to be this Hawaiian food truck. I think it was called Decline Grinds, you know, so that'd be cool to get sponsored by them. Right. And even if it's just like, you know, a little bit of free food, you know.
Exactly. It's right down the street. You can go get it whenever, you know.
And that's the thing too. And like you guys know the college grind. Like sometimes it doesn't take a lot. Sometimes like shoot, if Chipotle wants to sponsor me and they just want to give me one free meal a day, that's huge.
That's huge. I'll take that. That sounds like if it's only if it's only 3 meals a week, I'm taking that. I mean, I'll be there.
Yeah, because you know, like especially when we're on you know, on college stipend and stuff like that. I mean, I'm an adult now and I, you know, obviously got house and bills and all this stuff to pay. But when I was in college, you know, you go from high school having $0 to college to having like $1,300 a month. And you're like, damn, we made it. Yeah. But if I was living off $1,300 a month right now, like I'm not even paying my rent. I'm paying nothing. No. So,
definitely,
you know, a lot of times, you know, if you can get away with, you know, some free food or, you know, get the local car dealership to sponsor you so you can drive around 2020, 2022 Hyundai, you know, whatever, Hyundai Sonata or whatever.
Exactly. So, something to drive around with. I'll take it, you know.
But obviously like the cool big brands like Nike, you know.
Yeah, that's what we thought you were going to say. When we
I mean, you pretty much were though in Oregon. I mean, pretty much.
So.
Well, and that's the thing that's kind of hard. I doubt there's any University of Oregon athletes that are picking up like endorsement deals with specific companies and even Nike, right? Like, because Nike already endorses the whole university for free, not for free.
I think like Thibodeau is. I think he did something like Phil Knight, like the DN, but I think that's like the only person that did.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. But like, Thibodeau, is like our Oregon superstar right now.
Yeah, he used to be like the first pick. So yeah, it's
and here's the thing. I don't know his first name. And they just call him the general. Do you know what I'm talking about? That's the safety for Oregon.
Nah.
Is he number 23?
Yeah, number 23. Let me just look it up. Hold on.
I think I know what you're talking about. He's cold.
let me just tell you, because I don't want to mess this up, and I should know it, and I did know it, but you know how it goes. Like
on a spot, you just forget
everything.
everything.
The business meeting got you.
100%. Hey, so no, exactly. So his name's Verone McKinley III, right? And they call him the general because I guess he like goes, is kind of controlling the defense, telling people what to do. He knows everything that's going on, making good plays. So like the general insurance.
Yeah.
That's a perfect fit, right?
Yeah,
like there needs to be some more stuff like that, right? Like, and linemen could be sponsored by like Kodiak cakes because they get pancakes. Like it just needs to fit, and that's funny because people, like, he's a lineman, pancakes,
it just works together.
Wide receiver, Elmer's glue, whatever. Like,
yeah, exactly.
That's the thing about that's the thing about sponsorships is like it doesn't need to be totally related. It just needs to like be interesting to somebody.
Yeah.
Like, like the best receiver, Devontae Smith, sponsored by Elmer's glue. That's pretty funny. Like, he has sticky hands, and he could do a commercial where he's like has glue on his hands. He's like, he's like
do something crazy.
Exactly. Like
the little Giants where he's like,
exactly. Right? And I think those kind of sponsorships are the ones that are going to do well. Like the viral moments is what kind of is going crazy right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, switching over your track days. I think one of your most memorable races had to be the Olympic trials when you jumped into the crowd. Is that your most memorable like track moment, or what would that be?
Yeah, it definitely is. Just because it meant a lot that my family was there, right? If you watch that video, my whole family's in the stands right there, and that's why I did it.
Yeah.
And I had been working, pretty much my whole life to accomplish the goal of making the Olympics, right? And as a track and field athlete, that's like the pinnacle of our sport. So to do that was pretty interesting, like amazing to me, and I just was like ecstatic. So I had to do something crazy.
It had to, and it was at Eugene too, and you were wearing the Oregon gear. Everything just fit well.
Yeah, I mean, it was meant to be. It was a Cinderella story. To be honest, if I kept wearing that Oregon uniform, I'll probably go undefeated. So I'm gonna have to talk to Nike.
Yeah, you might have to wear it under or something.
Well, because Oregon on the track team, we only wear the yellow uniforms on the championship days.
Oh.
So we call it championship yellow. So it's like Tiger Woods is red.
Yeah, Tiger Woods red.
Exactly, right. So like something like that would be pretty cool. And if I get like a yellow jersey on, for like finals, race finals, something like that.
We'd be looking like the bar. Never lost.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with the pandemic, everybody seemed to have like a new skill they learned or something they learned about themselves. What was something in the pandemic you learned about yourself?
Oh man, that's a great question.
We started our podcast during the pandemic.
Yeah, actually, I have a podcast too. It's track related. Okay. When the season got no free shout outs. Hey, shout out Bustin' with the Boys. But yeah, no, podcasts are a great tool because like there's a lot of stuff, and I'm sure you guys have been friends for a long time. You guys are talking about some stuff that's just funny.
Yeah.
Right. And like people are like, oh man, I wish somebody was here to hear this. Right. And that's kind of the point. So what did I learn? I played a lot of video games, and that's kind of, I'm sure you guys did the same.
Yeah.
It's like just guys our age.
Yeah.
I really got into cooking. So, I've been like chefing it up pretty much every meal for the last, 2.5 years, which is really fun to me. And I just enjoy it. Something I'm really into. Like I just moved into a new place on Monday, and that was like the biggest thing was like, having a kitchen that like I could flow.
Yeah, you can have room to operate.
Exactly. And then I have my dog. I have a Great Dane. He's sleeping right now, but having a pet is pretty amazing in the sense of like, the responsibility it is and how much, fulfillment they can give you. Right. Like just, getting up every day and taking care of something and just kind of being a part of your everyday life, which is kind of cool. But I didn't really do anything special over the pandemic. What about you guys?
Nah, ain't nothing special.
Just our podcast.
Yeah, we did it. We started not right on. Started like November.
Yeah.
So it was kind of later on, but like right when it happened, we were still in high school at that point. We were seniors in high school when it happened. So nothing too crazy. So it was just,
So you guys are sophomores now.
Yeah, we're sophomores in college.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, COVID really made the time fly.
No, yeah, for sure.
Oh.
Definitely made time fly.
It's been good though with online school though, Shit, I be cheating on everything.
Hey, that's the thing now. Like I'm seeing like these people on social media posting like they can see when you exit and enter like the tests and quizzes. I was like, yo.
Yeah, sometimes
each
professor's like different. So you can have like a test where you just go in, take it, they don't care. Some are like timed and no notes, you gotta look. And then some you have to be on a Zoom call and do it. And then some there's like a new technology that if you look away for a second, it tells you like the screen, like your eyes aren't the same place anymore. And like you have to like show the room before you take it. It's some weird things that happen. Technology is crazy now, man.
Yeah, to be honest, like I feel like the way testing going and stuff like that in college, it needs to kind of go more to like open book because you can figure everything out so quickly on the internet. Obviously, it's important to like learn. I took a sports law class in college, and our tests were all open book, open internet. Because like, as a lawyer, right, you have all this time, you have time to like prepare. But the thing is, we had an hour to do the test and there's like 20, 30 questions. So he's like, hey, if you don't study at all, you're not going to have enough time to finish.
Exactly. That's how it is.
Like straight up. So you need to know like at least 80% of the material so you have a chance. And that's real life, really. I mean, to be honest, right? Like somebody asked me, in my business or whatever to do something and figure something out, if you have enough time, you really can figure it out and no problem.
That's true.
So, oh yeah, for sure. All right. So now going back to the track. Now every runner's dream is to make the Olympics, like you just said. Now, how was it when you're finally there? Like you made it there, you won the trial, you got to, how was it when you finally got there?
It's a little bit interesting because it feels overwhelming almost. And that was probably like a big issue of my first Olympic experience was, I was there probably about 12 days before I competed. And I felt like I was just there for so long, right? Like, you get into such a routine and training that like you want to stay in that routine and you kind of break it up with travel and stuff like that. So it definitely was difficult, but it was a lot of fun. I mean, we got to meet a whole bunch of people, saw like Michael Phelps and all these guys in the village. I sat next to, who did I sit next to in the dining hall? Oh, Leandro Barbosa and Tony Parker when they were still playing in 2016.
That's dope.
Right. And I'm from Phoenix. So Leandro Barbosa used to play for the Suns when I was like, young. And I'm like, dang, this is crazy. I used to watch this guy a lot. And so that whole experience is awesome. Obviously the village, is set up just, for just sleeping and focusing on training and meals and stuff like that. And just getting to experience Brazil in general was amazing. Because I got to do a little bit, like I had a week after my competition to hang out and chill with my family and stuff like that.
So yeah, that's dope. I mean, Olympics is cool because everybody watches it. Like it's only on like once every 4 years, so everyone's just watching it.
Yeah, and I think too, the big draw of the Olympic Games is like it makes watching a whole bunch of different sports easy.
Yeah,
right. Like you literally just leave the Olympic channel on all day.
And it's like random sports. It's like
exactly right. Like, oh shoot, I'm watching equestrian right now.
Yeah.
Like this German equestrian, whatever's killing it, and then the next thing is like shooting. You're like, oh
Yeah,
man,
shooting. You're like, what? Shooting, running, swimming. It's like,
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, some of those Olympics, I can go gold in. That one where it's like a soccer and you're throwing it in the net, bro. In gym class, come on.
Oh, yo,
If I had to
handball?
highlight- Yeah, handball. Come on.
Handball is elite. Handball
Yeah.
is elite. It's a fun sport to watch and play.
Now, so you have 2 Olympics under your belt. Could we possibly see you go for gold in Paris in 2024?
Oh yeah, 100%. That's the goal. No, for sure. That's the plan. I'm going to be 29 at Olympics, which is, a pretty good prime age for a track and field athlete. Like about 25 to 30. You usually see most athletes kind of peak and run their fastest. So these next 3 or 4 years for me are going to be pretty good, I believe. And, just based on my ability, I think I have a really good chance to win the Olympics. I mean, I thought I had a chance, and I did have a chance to win the 2021 Olympics. But, sometimes, and that's why you run the race. Sometimes you don't always, run the best race or a better race, or somebody just runs a really great race at the same time. So,
right.
Yeah.
Now you started a new company called Upgo. What's that all about?
No free shout outs.
Yeah, no free shout outs, but hey, we shout out the boy.
Shout out. So actually started this over the pandemic. That can actually answer your question that you talked about earlier. Me and a couple of my friends that I've been friends with since about 5, since I was 5 years old, playing like, Pop Warner football, like Mighty Mike football. We're talking about like, oh man, we got to do something during the pandemic, talking about starting a business. And actually my buddy Bart went to North Central. That's who, he played football there. And then my other friend, Trey Watson, he's currently playing in the Canadian Football League, and he went to Illinois and University of Maryland. And we're like, man, we're like really into fitness. Obviously we're both, Trey's a pro football player. I'm a pro track athlete. We take supplements all the time. Why don't we just like make our own stuff? And that's kind of how it came about, for me, especially because I get drug tested a lot. And now that I said that, I'm probably gonna get drug tested tomorrow morning.
Supplements, huh?
Yeah, no. And that's really the thing, is trying to find really like good quality supplements and stuff that you want to take and stuff that's going to benefit you, and specifically, right? And you can get the help of a dietitian and nutritionist to kind of help you guide what you need to take. But that's kind of like the base idea of why we started the company. It was like, hey, why don't we just make our own stuff that we like and that we want to use as well. So that's how it kind of grew. And actually as of Thanksgiving, we're 1 year in, 1 year into business. So,
Sir.
Hey, happy birthday, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, dude.
We had ours last week too, so we're kind of like birthday twins. 6-man Blitz and Upgo.
Yeah, hey, collab coming soon.
Hey, collab coming soon.
Hey, hoodie's coming out.
Hey, definitely. But for the last part of the interview, we normally do rapid fire takes. So now we're gonna hit you some rapid fire questions. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, now
Let's get
you
it.
mentioned you're a big gamer. So what are the games you play nowadays?
Right now I'm playing Halo, just pretty much full time. I play a lot of Apex, a lot of Call of Duty. And then I'm low key like a closet Forza Horizon 5, Forza Horizon 4 player. I'm really into cars in general. So I like playing the car games, but I play by myself when I do that.
It's funny. I just be playing Fortnite, man. I just be chilling in there.
You guys are still playing Fortnite?
Dude,
I gave it up.
One of my teammates. One of my teammates is insane in that. So I just be like, hey, let's do it, man. That team bonding, man. That team bonding.
And that's the big thing too. And you guys know, like most of the gaming is just getting to hang out with your friends.
Right.
You guys do this podcast probably because you get to hang out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Now, what were your favorite pair of Jordans from Oregon?
Ooh, my favorite pair. This one's tough.
Oh yeah, I bet it is.
You know what? We had the Jordan I mean, the most famous pair is that felt green.
The Duckman?
Oregon 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the most famous pair. I would say my favorite. I think they're 5s. That we got to shoot the Olympic year, and they're like retro 5s with like all gold, like a gold tongue, and they were the retro Olympic Jordan, and it was actually perfect because we got them in 2016.
Yeah, you went there that year.
And I made the Olympics the same year, so I was like, oh, these are like perfect fit. So
yeah, you're definitely cheating.
Yeah. So those two.
All right, the next one's related. But what's your favorite uniform combo at Oregon?
Oh. Man. Yo,
I mean, there's a lot to choose from.
yeah, there's a lot.
To be honest, I think the coolest look obviously is straight white on white.
Stormtrooper ones?
I was thinking the white
Stormtrooper.
too, yeah.
But we get a lot of like flack whenever we wear white on white, and we don't win. People are just like, "Oh, the stupid white uniforms, you got to retire them." We're like, "Oh, it's not the uniforms. It's really not. I promise." My favorite uniform was we wore like all yellows a few times. We wore all yellow against Michigan State 2014, and then we wore all yellows against Virginia in 2016. That were like a cool like Thunderbolt uniform. So I like the all yellow look because, there's not a lot of teams in college football that are just rocking yellow in general.
And that's the uniform I'd always pick in NCAA. I just picked the all yellow ones and like the gray helmet.
Yeah, I mean, because there's a lot of teams, wearing white. There's a lot of teams wearing green as well. Like, but the yellow, like that vibrant yellow, like.
But that's some Oregon changes up all the time. There's always something different. Something like that one game they had the orange cleats, the orange socks. Like that's like.
Oh yeah, that uniform was cool because it was like a duck. We were like a duck like retro.
Duck. That's different for real.
Yeah.
All right, now is one of the worst feelings in the world when you hit a hurdle?
Actually, it doesn't hurt that bad, and I say that with a grain of salt because a lot of my athletes at the Naval Academy are like, learning how to hurdle and stuff like that, and they're hitting some hurdles like, oh, my foot and stuff like that. I don't really hit hurdles that often, and when I do, I usually hit it like with my hamstring or something like that. So it's never too hard. But I have, I've been hurdling for almost 10 years now. Yeah, I have probably hit my knee or shin on a hurdle a few times, and that does not feel good.
No, definitely not. You'd be, my leg.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like a hard plastic, right? And they're weighted as well. So, it looks like they go down easy when we do.
Yeah, it looks like they go down easy. Yeah.
But they are weighted, and they weigh, I don't know the exact weight, but probably like 20, 30 pounds.
So what is one thing you would change about your sports career?
Oh, shoot. One thing I would change about it. Man, actually, to be honest, I wouldn't change anything. The only thing like that sucks, and this is a part of sports, is just getting injured, right? Yeah. But that's a part of it, right? People always talk about like, like this and that. Every great sports athlete has dealt with injury. Maybe not super major, maybe not ACL or whatever, but you deal with injury. You're pushing your body to the limit. It's gonna happen. But other than that, man, I love the decisions I made in college to play football and run track. I had an amazing experience. I'm doing well right now in my career in track, and hopefully, one of these times I can, get back on the football field.
The journey is definitely fun, but what is better, the track atmosphere? What is better, a track atmosphere or a football atmosphere?
To be honest, you can't really beat Autzen Stadium, at Oregon. You can't beat that vibe. But there have been some wild track atmospheres. Like I actually ran in a meet in Zurich and won the Diamond League final. Which is, if you don't know, it's like another like main event for track and field every season, where they take the best in every event and they, run a race at the end of the year, and then the winner of that wins a Diamond League. But that was like 80,000 people, I feel, about. So, and it was pretty cool, right? So you win the race. I'm like, yeah. Like, so it felt pretty dope.
Yeah, that's dope. 80,000. That's dope.
Now, track star, football player, what was a sports idol growing up for you?
This is a good one. My best sports idol, my favorite sports player in general was Hines Ward. Growing up, he's a receiver
Tough
for the
receiver.
Pittsburgh Steelers. Exactly, right. So I just love the way he played. He was super, just like consistent, just aggressive, and just like, you know, like we say back in the day, you know, football's kind of evolved, but he was never afraid to go hit somebody,
Right.
you know, and stuff like that. So I try to model my game after him. Obviously, I would like to say I'm a little bit faster, but yeah, he's a great athlete.
Now, would you rather be an all-time great rapper like Drake or all-time great hooper like LeBron?
Oh, whoa.
It's an easy answer. Come on.
I honestly just don't like basketball that much. I like watching basketball, but I never like I played I played up until high school, and then, you know, basketball kind of runs into the end of football season and then to track season in the winter. So I'd say Drake. You know, I love music, and I would love to rap, but yeah, it's just hard for me to say LeBron because
Love that Spotify rap too.
yeah.
All right, now, if you're walking in an alley, 3 a.m., who are you picking to fight with you in a street fight?
Who am I picking to fight with me?
Yeah, alongside.
Sir.
It could be anybody.
Oh, anybody. That's the thing. This is a big argument we had a few years ago in the track community. Not even the track community, my training group in Phoenix. We were talking about the rules of a street fight. And I said, there's no rules.
No,
like,
it's street fight. There's no rule. There's not like a ref. It's no rules.
Yeah. You know, you find a rock, you could throw it if you're running away, and, you know, you find like a pole, you could hit them with it. Yeah, we're getting aggressive there.
The boy getting freaky.
I'm just trying to think of like the best fighter I know, to be honest, which is not always a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, anybody can take this anyway.
Yeah, a lot of people say Mike Tyson with this one.
Oh, you could wait. It doesn't have to be somebody I know.
No, anybody. I said anybody. I said that.
Oh, I'm taking. Yeah, low key, I'm probably taking Nate Diaz.
Yeah, we had that answer before.
Yeah, we've heard that before.
Because he's a goon.
He makes you think like he won the fight after, because he's all bloody. He's raising his hands. He's talking stuff like after he lost. He be making you think like that he won or something, you know?
Yeah, and he's definitely going after it.
Yeah, for real. He's not scared of nobody. All right, but if you can be in a superhero movie as the main role, who would you be? What superhero are you taking?
That's funny. Superhero movie. To be honest, the best superhero is Flash. So I'm gonna say that just because, hey, if you do some research on the Flash, his powers are way more than just being fast. You know, like he can stop time. In theory, he can like go through like objects, like, you know, phase through stuff. So yeah, that'd be a cool. And obviously I'm fast, I run track, and my last name's Allen, and, you know, the superhero is Barry Allen. So, you know, that fits. It's my cousin. That's my cousin.
That's where we got to learn how to be fast.
Yeah. All right, so for the next one, 3 dinner guests, dead or alive, who are you taking?
Oh, 3 dinner guests. You know, it's funny because there's like this social media trend about this question, like a $500,000 dinner with Jay-Z. So I got to bring Jay-Z with me.
Yeah. I saw that on Twitter too.
I got to bring Jay-Z just because, like, I got to talk to him about that dinner idea. I got to bring my pops with me. No, it's 500,000.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. No. So I'm bringing Jay-Z. I'm bringing my dad. bringing my dad because he knows how to have a good time. Last dinner guest, Heinz Ward. That'd be dope. I'd love to pick his brain. Just exactly. I'd love to meet him one day or something.
Nah, yeah, that'd be dope.
Hopefully Jay-Z paying for the dinner though.
Yeah,
he's paying. He's paying.
You gotta make him pay. All right, so for the last question, we ask everybody this. It's our notorious question. I haven't asked in a while, so we gotta ask you now. In the movie Cars, do they have life insurance or car insurance?
He was flabbergasted.
You never responds.
Are facial wet? Is water wet? So do they have car insurance or life insurance?
Yeah.
I guess it has to be life insurance.
Yeah, like a reason behind it, or you just
I'm gonna go off the top. Because what makes a car?
What do you mean by that? What makes it car?
So what makes it a car? Four wheels, right?
Yeah. Four wheels, got the engine, got the steering wheel.
But here's the thing now. Tesla doesn't have an engine, has a battery and a motor.
This is next level thinking.
Yeah, that's next level thinking though.
And now you don't got the same fluids, no oil, whatever, right? So now we're just saying, I understand the definition of a car. I get it.
Right.
But right? Is a truck the same? Is a Ford Raptor the same as a Tesla, the same as a Porsche, the same as a monster truck?
I see where you're going here.
So I would say life insurance, just because there's so many different cars that you can't I feel like that movie is just saying that they're like people instead of like actual cars. Obviously they are cars in the movie. I understand that.
No, yeah, we get a lot of weird answers for that. We got most of them say life insurance though, and then they back it up with it. But nobody's ever brought up the Tesla monster truck argument. So like the new sprinkle. But that's all we got for you, man. You've been great. We appreciate you for everything. And hey, we're gonna be rooting for you in those Paris Olympics 2024, man. We're rooting for that gold, man. Bring home that gold.
No, for sure. Thanks, fellas. Thanks for having me. Thanks for waiting up on me as well. I appreciate y'all.
All right, boys are back. Hope you liked that interview with Devon Allen. We got some more good interviews coming soon. Nothing lined up yet, so we can't tell you about that quite yet.
If you want to come on the show, let us know. Hit us in the DM.
Hey, don't say that, because there's some people that try to come on every time possible. You know who you are if you're listening right now. But we got a great show. We got some great sports talk. College football has been crazy. We'll break it down first in the coaching carousel. Two big coaches left their programs and went to another big program, sort of say. We'll start off with Lincoln Riley to USC first. That was the first one that broke the internet. Everybody had Lincoln Riley to LSU, and then flipped that L to that U. He went to USC, fight on, go Trojans. What were your thoughts when you saw the Lincoln Riley news?
Dude, I was flabbergasted. Yeah. Like Devon Allen in that last question we asked him. That's what my reaction.
Dude, bro. We asked Devon that question. He was like, no, his face didn't even move. He was like,
I thought he froze.
I thought he froze too, but he was literally just like, he didn't say nothing. But you can go back.
That's the effect of the 6-man blitz rapid fire questions. That tells you there. But when I saw the news, I was like, damn, I didn't know, there was no indication he was going to leave. It was like rumors at first, but you didn't hear anything from him. And it just sucked that some of those Oklahoma players, that's the first time they heard this news was on social media. Similar to the Brian Kelly stuff to LSU, but I think it's a great move for college football. USC being good is a great move for college football. I think that's one of the best opening jobs in college football. It's about the right guy going there, though, and I think he's going to turn it around.
Yeah, because you've had guys before like Sarkisian, and that didn't work out. Lane Kiffin, that didn't work out. At Orgeron, they didn't hire him. So you've seen a lot of stuff. I don't even remember the last coach because he got fired and rehired, and they had the Arizona head coach Kingsbury. So USC has been crazy for a while. I would love to see them back, but what Lincoln Riley did there was smart, but also a cowardly move. And I'll say that because Oklahoma's probably to go SEC next year. They lose the last game to Oklahoma State, and that boy is out of there. He said, man, after this New Year's Six Bowl, I'm out, which that's what you have to do in college football. But it's a cruel world because I'm hearing reports, sources close to me, that he didn't even have a team meeting. He didn't even have a team meeting with anybody. He just left. He didn't even tell his players anything. Like, opposite than Brian Kelly, he sent a text message out, and, we'll talk about Brian Kelly in a second, but I think this is a good move because USC is obviously a sleeping giant because of what they did beforehand. And Lincoln Riley is already having decommit from USC and go to Minnesota. It's kind of like, and then decommit from Oklahoma, go to USC. It's kind of like PJ Fleck. When PJ Fleck had committed, it was at Western Michigan, went to Minnesota. He had the whole recruiting class from Western Michigan go to Minnesota, but one player.
Minnesota, that was crazy.
But one player, and that one player didn't even last the full year at Western Michigan as a football player. So Lincoln Riley, he's already doing this. He knows what's going to happen. He already flipped a 5-star quarterback commit to USC. He knows what he's doing. And that's why. And who is he going to compete with in the Pac-12 now? Oregon? That's the only thing. And I'm not, slandering Oregon's episode. I know I have some Oregon fans listening because Devon Allen, but he only has to compete with Oregon this year or every year, and he's got to play Notre Dame every year. But who else is going to compete besides those two schools? Maybe Utah, maybe those random schools. Washington's
usually good though.
Yeah, you get those random schools in there that are good once in a while, but he's dodging a bullet here, and I think this is a good move for him because USC they were the powerhouse. And I texted Kyle Prater, man. I texted him. I said, fight on. Want a picture of it. He hasn't got back to me yet. I'll let you know when he gets back to me. But
he's busy, man. He's doing those little short films. He's doing stuff.
Yeah, and I look back on that. I'm like, damn, that interview was long as hell. That interview was long as hell. But I think this is a great move, man. And I saw it because it came out of nowhere because, like I said, an LSU rumor, but they always tweet out USC is targeting Lincoln Riley. They're not going to get him, You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like Oklahoma's targeting Cliff Kingsbury. They're not going to get him, But like I said, man, it's a good move. Brian Kelly, I'm a Notre Dame fan. That broke my heart. But I think it's a good move for both schools here.
It's definitely a culture shift, though. Brian Kelly's been Notre Dame football for so long.
Yeah,
and it's just the Freeman guy they got coach. I think it's good to hire from the same coaching system that was still there, so there's not too much change. And they got the offensive coordinator coming back. Hey, I'm not fucking leaving. The Great Gatsby.
I like that. I like those tweets.
The Great Gatsby. What's that? What's that film?
That's from Wolf on Wall Street. Yep.
Yeah, Wolf on
Give
Wall
it to me. Give it to me. The movie guy gets stumped. But I think I like that. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. But it gets kind of cliche. A lot of people post it when they're 5th years, 4th years coming back. It gets cliche, but I think it was right for this moment.
Definitely. Hey, Brian Kelly. Him at LSU though. How good do you think they are going to be? And that's the thing with Lincoln Riley. If you would have went to the SEC too, like think about, he's not going to be the best coach anymore in that conference. You got Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, even Jimbo Fisher.
Jimbo Fisher's better than him, yeah.
There's some names. Lane Kiffin, Ole Miss.
Lane Kiffin's better than I don't know. That's close though. That's close, but
close.
The last 3 coaches at LSU all won a championship. Coach O, Les Miles, and Nick Saban. So those are 3 good company coaches right there.
A lot of pressure.
Brian Kelly is a good coach, a good recruiter. Man, he was out recruiting News broke Tuesday? He was out News broke Monday. Monday. He was out recruiting Sunday. He was at California recruiting. He was at his parents' home. So I think Brian Kelly's a great coach. He's a good recruiter. But I think the move to LSU is a great move. He can now recruit like the South really well, which he had before. But he doesn't have to worry about academics anymore. He can just worry about football, and he doesn't have to worry about not having a state. he has his state in Louisiana. Like Indiana, he doesn't have state. He doesn't have Notre Dame State. It's Indiana, Purdue. There's three schools that go and get all the recruits. So LSU is just a school there. There's not going to be a lot of teams coming into Louisiana taking the best players. He's going to have that. And LSU has 3 5-star recruits still committed from this class. And there hasn't been a coach for 2 months now. So LSU is just different. They had OBJ and Jarvis Landry in the same team, and they won the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl. Like, this team is always good. It's always
they are always loaded. Yeah,
they're always loaded. So I think Notre Dame, going back to Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman's a great option. Having Marcus Freeman and Tommy Reese is a great. I think I saw Marcus Freeman, I think, is 33, and Tommy Reese is probably, I think, 29 or somewhere. I don't know. The math, they're young. So you get a new persona with 2 young guys, and I think they're going to work together well, because I don't think, like, Freeman is going to let Reese do whatever he wants on offense now. And I think there's going to be, Freeman's going to – I think it's going to be like co-head coaches kind of. I think they'll be doing their own thing. And Brian Kelly, I don't think he's holding anybody back now. I think Notre Dame's in a great spot with Freeman. But if I'm Notre Dame fan, I'm salty because I wanted Luke Fickell. I think that would have been a great hire. I wasn't too high on.
He's leaving. I don't think Fickell. I think he stays, especially if they do good in this playoff.
But Notre Dame is different though. So I think if he would have, I think could have got him. Maybe could have got Matt Campbell at Iowa State. Definitely not Urban. That was some BS. But I think it's definitely crazy for college football in the landscape.
I mean, the jail guys from the NFL, they need a coach. It could be the longest yard part 2.
Yeah, hey, Ben Roethlisberger, Henry Ruggs, Ray Rice, longest yard part 2, man, for sure. You lock them up. But the playoff, what were your thoughts on the playoff that came out?
Okay, I definitely like Oklahoma State over Notre Dame. I like Michigan at 2. I like that because that Ohio State is a big win. Definitely how they won that game too was huge. And I'm not complaining about this. This might be a year where we don't see Clemson, Ohio State, Bama, all these dominant teams that have filled the playoff. This is a new playoff this year. Although there might be some blowouts. I don't know if Cincinnati is going to be able to compete with Michigan. I don't know if Georgia's going to be able to. If Oklahoma State's going to be able to compete with Georgia. I kind of flipped that. People are like, huh?
Yeah, we know what you were saying though, unless you were going on some crazy take.
I like this playoff. There's so much stuff to be intrigued by. So I think this is a new era, new time.
No, yeah, for sure. And I like it because it's not the traditional powerhouse like you said. And we get, a game like Michigan, Cincinnati, that Michigan can end up in the championship. And I think that's good for the sport, good for the Big Ten, good for Jim Harbaugh. But I was seeing some last year. Jim Harbaugh only won like 2 games last year. And if he didn't beat Rutgers in that game went to overtime, he would have been fired. And imagine Jim Harbaugh got fired, then it would have been crazy. It would have been different, man. But I was telling you, if Bama wins this weekend, they screw Cincinnati. Because if Bama wins, Bama's in, Georgia's in, Michigan is in. If Michigan has to just beat Iowa, they don't have. It doesn't matter about score. They can score 3 points. Iowa score 0. Who cares? Michigan's probably going to beat Iowa, so I'm just going to consider them in. But the SEC championship game is something to keep out on. The American Cincinnati could lose to Houston. I mean, it could happen.
Houston is a good team.
Houston's a good team. Let's just say Cincinnati wins. Oklahoma State, Baylor. I think that's an interesting game. I think Oklahoma State could edge it out, win it. But obviously, if Oklahoma State wins, they're in. If Baylor wins, it's close.
Baylor's not getting in if they win.
Baylor's not getting in if they win unless something crazy happens. But I saw some. Imagine if Georgia lost, Michigan lost, Cincinnati lost, or Oklahoma State lost. Just one of those 4 happened. It's crazy. It's gonna be chaos.
Imagine if all 4 of them lost.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but I'm like, in what world?
It's not out the waters though, because
it's possible, but it's not gonna happen.
Or Notre Dame loses on the bye week.
We've seen Detroit Lions lose on the bye week.
Lose on the bye.
Seen some teams lose on the bye week, but I think this playoff, I love it so much. People are like, this year's not that good because there's so many upsets. After that, I don't care. It's like college basketball. Upsets every night.
There's upsets every week, bro.
You just
that's
love
crazy.
to see it. You just love to see it. That's all you got for playoff talk. I think because I think this week's going to determine it. And I think we can keep talking theoretical this, theoretical that. But all right. Let's say what do you think the final four will be?
I think Georgia's going to stay at number 1. I think they're going to beat Bama. Then 2, I think Michigan's going to beat Iowa. So I think they stay at number 2. I think Cincinnati 3 still. But I'll give me 4. I think Oklahoma State's going to be 4. But I could see Oklahoma State jump over Cincinnati, though, with that championship win.
I hope that doesn't happen, though, because I want to see Michigan play Cincinnati.
Because Georgia, Cincinnati.
I think that's a good game. I think the better games will be Georgia, Cincinnati.
Before.
Yeah, exactly. Last year. So I think the better games will be Georgia, Cincinnati, Michigan, Oklahoma State. But I want to see Michigan kind of make the championship. So I kind of want to see
them get upset.
Michigan play Cincinnati. I'm a Jim Harbaugh guy through and throughout. I'll be wearing my khakis on that day.
Go blue.
Go blue. But I think I have the same thing too. So I think most people have that 4. Or you had Oklahoma State. You had Oklahoma State 4 though.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll say Oklahoma.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Most people have that, though. We could see Oklahoma State jump them. I think this is an interesting year just because so many things can happen. But let's get with our picks before we wrap this thing up. Let's start off with Bucks, Falcons. Bucks here. I mean.
Let's go. The Falcons,
let's go.
Hey, there's no way to spin it.
Yeah, there's no way to spin it. Cordell Patterson at safety is an interesting take. What if he picks off Brady?
That would be insane.
I'll get a Cordell Patterson jersey if he picks off Brady. You heard it here first. Cardinals, Bears. Cardinals. All right, you want to hear something crazy? Devon Allen, Arizona guy, so I got to keep the Arizona thing. Suns, best record in the NBA. Cardinals, best record in the NFL, both in Arizona.
Arizona's doing things, man.
Doing things.
But give me the Bears in this one, and I'll explain it for my closing remark. I've never bet against the Bears. Never.
Just explain it now.
Okay. Now, the Bears are 4-7 right now. The team at the 7th spot is 5-6. I think it's the Vikings. They're 5-6, the last wild card spot. Or it's the football team. I think they're 5-6.
Yeah, it's football team.
So all these teams that are in the hunt for that last seed are what? 5-6, 4-7, those kind of areas. You tell me that if the Bears beat the Packers or the Cardinals, they can't win the last 4 games. Giants, the Vikings twice. Dalvin Cook's a little banged up. We don't know about that. The Giants.
You're delusional, bro.
And Seattle. Hey, last year on this show, I said that the Bears were going to go on a run and make the playoffs. What happened? They went on a run, made the playoffs. Mitchell Trubisky got MVP. I see Justin Fields getting MVP again this year. I was just like,
yeah, man. It's tough. It's crazy. That you keep doing back this. And then the recap video, you go say, mental health is serious. Take that stuff serious. And then you keep picking the Bears. You keep picking the Bears. So I'm going to go Cardinals here. Kyler Murray.
Gamble, all right?
Kyler Murray's back. So I'm going with the Cardinals here just because of that reason.
D-Hop's back too, I think.
So you're making it easier on me. All right, Chargers, Bengals. I think it's an interesting matchup. I'm just not sure on the Chargers. How good is this team? They're the most inconsistent team I've ever seen. They'll play good versus a good team,
loaded.
Bad versus a bad team, and like they lost to the Broncos. And this team is weird.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals in this game, honestly, because the Bengals, they're getting on a little run.
Who thought the Bengals would be 7-4?
They have a good defense. Trey Hendrickson, Wilson
Bates.
making tackles. They got Bates. They got a good defense. And then offensively, you know what you're getting. Freaking the receiver from Clemson LSU. No, yeah, he's from Clemson. What's his name?
Higgins?
T. Higgins. T. Higgins had a big game. You're thinking about Jamar Chase, who's up for Rookie of the Year.
I don't think he might have. I don't know.
It's him or Mac Jones. It's him or Mac Jones. But I give it to Jamar Chase. Because Mac Jones is in the system projected to win. That his system is projected him to win. You put him in any other situation, you put him on any other team, I don't think he's having the same success. But that's another topic.
Obviously not. If you put him in Jacksonville, people are already calling Trevor Lawrence a bust. So Chargers, Bengals. I like the Bengals here. I would love to pick the Chargers, but I don't know. The Chargers haven't shown me enough. Bengals are really good. I like that defense. They got speed. Vikings, Lions. Picking the Lions here.
I'm picking the Vikings, but I wouldn't be surprised if an upset happens.
Okay.
Because Dalvin Cook's out. I mean, the Vikings have Matson, but the Lions play everybody tough. So
Lions play everybody tough, but they got to win one eventually, man. And it's coming soon. Just like I just kept picking the Jets last year. It's coming soon, man. I'm going Vikings, though. Justin Jefferson's going to be greedy all over the Lions defense. Giants, Dolphins, one of the weirdest games.
Give me the Dolphins.
Dolphins are hot, man.
Dolphins are hot. They can win. What are they?
Danny Dimes is hurt too.
5 in a row. Then they play the Jets next week, I believe. And they're gonna go 7-7 before their bye, bro. Imagine that.
Yeah, and they started the year 0-5?
No, they were like 1-7.
Yeah, they're bad. I'm going Dolphins again. Tua Tagovailoa is the GOAT. I'm a Tua believer through and throughout, man. I'm part of the Tua fan club, man.
That's your guy.
That's my guy. That's been my guy for a while. You know that. You know Tua's my guy. But
Devontae Parker, Will Fuller, those guys coming back too.
We'll see how long Will Fuller comes back, man. Let's go Eagles, Jets.
Give me the Eagles in this one. I know you're picking the Jets. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Jets. I don't
Talk
know.
about me being a Bears fan getting disappointed, but the Jets disappoint you every time.
Yeah, but I'm not a Jets fan though. It's just fun to pick.
Yeah.
So you see Zach Wilson in that pick, he threw it off dude's back. I mean, like,
yeah, shit is terrible.
I'm going Jets. Eagles are weird. And hey, none more than home field advantage for the Jets. You know, all those Jets fans showing up. Not. All right, let's go. Colts, Texans. Colts, I mean, do we have to really talk about?
Yeah, the Colts are going to run all over him. But Tyrod Taylor, my guy, man.
That's your guy. That is your guy.
That's my guy.
Tyrod's your guy, man. But yeah.
He needs to pick it up, man.
This is I think this is going to be one of the closer games. I think people are torn on this game. Washington football team versus the Raiders. The Washington football team is hot though. They've been picking up some wins, so I think I'm gonna pick the Washington football team. I haven't picked the Raiders since Gruden and Ruggs.
I think the football team in here too, but is Heineke the guy going for it? You think that's their guy going for it? No. It's sad because he's balling though.
You picking a football team?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Jags, Rams.
Give me the Jags in this game.
You don't believe that.
I'm just bullshitting. Bro, give me the Rams.
Both go Rams. Ravens, Steelers.
Ravens in this one.
I love the Ravens. Ravens.
Steelers are gonna. What is that? A 4-game winning streak? If this continues, will they not make the playoffs? Like we said. Think about that, Steelers fans.
I'm gonna comment on everything. I got time. I'm gonna have time one day.
Oh, yeah. If they lose, bro, I'm in the comments with you, bro.
49ers, Seahawks.
I like the 49ers in this one. Deebo Samuel's hurt, but Brandon Ayuk, he had a big game last week. I think he has another big game. Eli Mitchell, he's a gem, bro. Yes. Him at the running back position, definitely he's going to be their guy going forward. I think Jimmy Garoppolo's looking good.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with the 49ers. Seahawks haven't looked good. Russell Wilson hasn't been playing good. But Broncos, Chiefs.
I'm going to go to the upset. The Broncos.
I think I might be with you here.
Bradley Chubb is back. Broncos are on a little run. They're getting healthier.
Might be with you, but the Broncos in prime time aren't that good.
It's a valid point.
I think I may be with you on the Broncos here. Teddy Two Gloves. I think I might be with you here. And then Monday Night Football, actually a good game. Patriots, Bills. Hey, I like them Patriots, man.
I like the Patriots in this one, too.
I like the Patriots.
Bills just lost Tre'Davious White for the season, too, so Mac Jones might eat up that secondary.
Yeah, some slight, man, some slight. But that's all we got. Closing remarks? You got closing remarks?
I was going to talk about the Bears, my theory, but I covered it in the Bears pick. Bears are going to go 9-8 and get the 7th wild card spot. You heard it here. Document this.
Interesting. I don't think I have anything. Go support Upgo. Go follow Upgo. No free shout outs, but Upgo. Hey, if he sent us a hoodie, though, that'd definitely be dope. As he said, he might, but
Hey, give me an extra large, and we're in there. That's all I want.
but
Christmas
yeah,
list.
that's all we got. Remember, subscribe to 6 Man Blitz, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts. The boys are on there. YouTube, they'll subscribe, get those numbies up. Follow us, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We're doing our best. I'm not really active on those a lot. Both in school, both in chilling. And hey, it's heating up towards finals, so the school stuff hard, man. I haven't even put a video out for Spencer Rattler and Brian Kelly and Lincoln Riley. School has been tough, man. I got a final tomorrow. Got a speech on Friday. School is tough, man. School is tough, and it's getting to that time. So we've been chilling. Surprised we even got time for Devon here, but we're gonna start getting some interviews going again. I think it's that time. It's finally December, so it's interview season. So we just got to keep cooking. Got to keep. If you know someone that's popular, got a good story, and got a following, just let us know. And
If you have a story and you want to share it, come on 6 Man Blitz podcast.
Yeah, I don't know if a lot of people are listening anymore, but that's all we got for you guys. We'll see you guys next week, same time. Peace.